They're trying to tell us something. They have figured out the formula for chaos.
When the clock strikes 8:30, babe, time to head for Chris's house.
Hey.
Will the song make it to the next round?
Oh no.
Pot of thunder. Let's pot tonight. Come on, baby, let's pot tonight.
Ooh, yes. Yes, Doc Gibbs and the Emerald Live Band bringing it tonight. The last January of 2024. Last January episode already. How did it happen? The last episode before February, but we'll get there when we get there. It's coming soon. Anyway, welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting. Brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And you know who I am.
Ooh, yes, it's Andy Jones. Even when it's cold. He's got it all. Hot podcast Thursday nights. Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa. It's Andy Jones.
Yes.
That had to happen.
That's a good one. Is that a collab between you two?
No, I can't believe I never thought of that before. It's
No.
one of the great songs of all time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope we do an episode one day.
Maybe today's the day. There'll be something. It's not out of the realm of possibility, is it?
Well, we've done a Huey Lewis episode.
We did, yeah.
Which one did we do?
Heart of Rock and Roll.
Heart of
with
Rock and
Ken
Roll.
Mills.
That's right. Okay, well, anyway, it's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. As always, joined by this guy. Nick Polak has entered the program. Can you believe it?
Brought a pigskin with him, right?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, man.
You have a football?
Football.
Look
It's
at
got
that.
the wrong logo on it, but you know.
What is it, Bears? Oh. That's all they sell. You know, you got to have Bears around here. Nick Polak is in the house. Woo. Why'd you bring a football? Did you do a football dance?
I did a couple football
He did.
dances.
Nice.
You did a icky shuffle.
Yeah, I had
bit there, from what I could tell.
Yeah, I had a little false start on the Icky Shuffle. What am I doing again?
Oh, because you're trying to think of a new dance, so that's what you got today. So football. I didn't know if it had something to do with the playoffs or Super Bowl.
Actually, when we came over, Chris was watching a replay of the latest, as of this recording, of course, the latest Lions game. So, big game this weekend for him. By the time people
pretty big
are hearing this on Monday, we'll know what happened.
We'll know what happened. But
is it the day game or the evening game?
It's the evening game.
Okay,
yes,
so
because they're playing on the West Coast,
so it could ruin your Monday or make you have a great Monday.
It's as they say, they're playing with house money at this point.
Oh, are they not?
Although I kind of hate that term because it implies that you'll be okay if you lose at this point.
Yeah.
But going into the season, I was like, win the division, host a playoff game, and they did both those things and more. So we'll see.
So you're happy.
Yeah, and I think somebody's going to be unveiling a new touchdown dance called the threesome defecation.
Oh, goodness.
So, inspired by recent events.
What a day. I had to take a half day at work when the news came through.
It does stop you in your tracks.
It really did.
You see that. I mean, I had to drop everything and pour through this evidence.
Yep.
Amazing stuff.
You know, it's early. We don't know what's true and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
But the stories I'm hearing, it's basically the worst stuff you can think of.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. Either it happened the way it described or somebody made it up the way it was described. Either way, someone on either side of that whole thing is an absolute scumbag.
That's true.
So
something's very wrong.
You're not dealing with there's nobody is there's not one side or both sides are not above being just labeled as a complete subhuman. So
well, on that note, you want them, we got them.
Can have it every day, yeah. I can have it. Get out of my way, yeah. Fuck you.
Yes, put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium. That is Chris L., not the subhuman we were referencing before. Thankfully.
Clearly not.
I don't know if he could crap on command like that. I don't know. That's
the distinguishing trait.
It's just ability. No.
Well, that could be the defense. Is like, hey, I'm 70. I don't know when I'm going to start crapping anymore. I can't control it. So it wasn't intentional.
Who knows? Maybe he was just attempting a naked fart while having a threesome in the office on this poor woman's head. And it got away from him at his advanced age.
Got away, all right.
Would that just make it an open and shut case at that point? Oh, okay. We understand. The old naked fart in the office during a threesome. Yeah, we got it.
That's, yeah.
Oh, that's what you're trying to do. Okay.
Just naked fart on this woman's head. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I don't even do that when no one's around.
Naked fart?
Yeah.
Nick puts if Nick is naked and he has to fart.
I gotta have something on.
He runs for a pair of underwear.
Rummaging through the dryer desperately. We're so stupid.
Can we start over?
It's a day chock full of stupidity. Why not fall into line with it?
If we didn't have the live aspect of this show on our Patreon.com/Pot of Thunder, this might be one where we restart it. Like I feel like in the early days, a couple times we did
once
a
or
restart,
twice, yeah.
like a minute in. Like, no, this is too much.
We shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, start over. That's how we're feeling today.
Yeah, well.
First of all, I have one final question about the whole situation. How does a man of Vince McMahon's stature on the planet not get the memo that you don't do a threesome with two dudes, okay? Get two women involved plus you. Who wants another naked guy in the room? Answer nobody, unless you're Vince McMahon or some other.
I was going to say, I'm making the assumption that was all by design. So,
well, yeah,
I don't know why, but yeah,
that's not how it's done. Okay, in case anybody out there is listening and is confused about that, it ain't two dudes, one woman. Okay. Not the right ratio.
It's no good?
No, it's no good.
No good. You write this down in my notes section of my phone. No good. Okay.
It is no good.
No good.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah.
As is this episode. So
yeah.
Well, these are events of the day. We need to talk about it. It's as if, almost like when Kennedy was assassinated. You gonna ignore that?
Honestly,
I don't think so.
That's how I feel today. It's going to be one of those
shocking
It's
stuff.
one of those landmark days. Not to make light of other days that were bigger, but I feel like there's a before and after this day for the rest of my life.
I remember sitting there reading it.
Yeah.
I can totally understand that, and I'm not even as much of a wrestling fan as you. It's just shocking stuff.
Yeah. Truly shocking.
But the only way to truly move on from it is to, in fact, move forward and can go about our normal lives. So here we go.
Okay. Well, before we get into any business, I'm hungry.
I hope so.
And I see something in foil here. I'm guessing it's baked.
It is.
Who wants to eat dainties? Who wants to eat baked treats with me?
Yes, I'm hungry, boy.
This is a solid brick here.
It is. It's dense. It's thick.
Oh, look at that. With a bunch of C's?
Yeah, a whole bunch of C's.
Look at this thing.
So what we got here is a gooey bar, I think it was called.
gooey bar?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that sounds like something that was in one of Vince's texts.
Oh goodness!
Or went down that woman's back.
Oh my god.
Help
me.
This is a dulce de leche gooey bar, and I put in the dulce de leche I put a little cinnamon and a little cardamom, and then in the crumble part for the vanilla I used the mandarin orange vodka vanilla, just to see if it adds any sort of subtle different flavors.
Look at you.
You guys be the judge.
What is it? The leche de what?
Dulce de leche.
And what does that mean?
It's
loosely translated.
It's essentially a caramel.
Sweet milk, right?
Yeah, it's just like a really thick. They take sweetened condensed milk and they cook it, and and that's it.
Okay.
And it's a thick caramel. I don't know if you're just gonna laugh.
Everything comes back to today's revelations. I mean, how do you hear thick caramel and not think back to the personal locker room or wherever that nonsense took place?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Nick. I had one bite and it's delightful. I'm going to save the rest for this week's song, whatever that may be.
Ooh, yeah, no idea.
We'll be getting to it soon. Don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited. It's Nick's turn, right?
Yeah.
And then Chris kicks off February.
I do.
Wow.
That's responsibility.
There's been a recent development there, by the way.
Uh-oh.
I thought I had my selection set in stone for a good 8 months.
Yeah.
There's been a new contender entered the picture within the past few days.
That to me is
got a real decision to make.
That's the most fun part about the theme months, is having something in mind for a long time, and then something comes along out of nowhere right beforehand.
And it's a song that's been on my radar for decades, so it's not like it's a new discovery for me, but it never occurred to me that it would work and make for a great discussion, and it just popped onto my radar, and I've got a decision to make, so there you go.
All right.
But we have business to attend to here, so here goes Nick.
Coming over here.
Coming over.
All right, what we're going to do here, we're going to fire up the listener submission list. We got a whole bunch on here. I don't know how many. Let's see. I don't know, maybe 10. Let's see. I'm putting in these numbers, punch, punch, punch. We've got a range here of about 1,000, and let's see, what do we got? 1,063.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what we have to choose from.
Okay.
So, Nick, what the hell? How did that happen?
What's this now?
What is going on with my typing?
going on?
Integers.
Just typing.
And he's adding integers.
Okay, Nick's going to fire up the sports machine. Here we go. Nick has props.
656.
So, the number was 656. Here we go. What is this? That's the song here?
I agree with the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to go with the song.
It's Bushwicked.
I have a... yeah, I'm going to have to.
All right.
Move along to the next trick.
Sorry about that.
Do you want? Why did you Bushwick it?
It's I don't know. I just can't.
Don't know
imagine,
it? Not
I
interested?
can't imagine it being a song that we
Okay.
would talk much about.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give us another
The
pool.
title, yes,
But not the song. All right. Once more. Here, we're going to do this. All right, we got number 726. Nick's looking. Nick's over my shoulder. He's peeking. He's debating.
Can you go to the comments if there are any?
Let's see, comment. There you go.
I'm not going to say no right away.
Okay.
I don't know it, but it's interesting.
We're gonna hopper it?
Yeah, I think we'll hopper. What is it, 7, what now?
726 we will hopper.
Not bad, Nick. Not bad, Nick.
All right, one more, Nick. Treats ready. 523. 523. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Here it is. Oh, boy. What if we also do that?
Oh, all right. I love that one.
This one. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. If you want it.
This is a vanity pick for me.
All right. Well, you know what? You're allowed to do that. As Chris always says, it's your show. Do what you want. Vanity pick.
This is just a song that I think is absolutely awesome.
Wow.
I'll just say it right off the
good.
bat.
You went with 523.
Yes.
Hit it.
Habemus Papam.
Time for Pope stuff. Yeah, that Pope stuff. Here's some Pope stuff. Time for Pope stuff.
Okay, as is customary, Nick,
Oh.
any guesses as to who was the Pope in 523?
Honorius.
It might be him. I don't know if that's how this is pronounced, so I'm not going to say you're right or wrong yet. Let me read it, and you
Okay.
can decide. You can tell me. So I can't get through one of these things anymore without totally mispronouncing it. So it's Pope Hormisdas.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Okay, that's an interesting name. Hormisdas. Hormisdas.
Andy made a joke about that name.
Well, I think we
before.
did, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think we had something from Pope Hormisdas.
All right. August 6th, 523. Pope Hormisdas dies at Rome after a 9-year reign, in which he has been instrumental in ending the Acacian Schism.
Okay.
I think that's another term for shitting on someone's head. The Acacian Schism.
How can life resume?
It can't.
How can
life
we,
it's forever changed.
How can we have an election this year when this is going on? How can we have a baseball season this year? How can things go on?
Yeah, they might cancel the NFL playoffs after that. They might end the Lions run that way. He is succeeded by John the First as the 53rd Pope.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it took that long to get a John the Pope.
John the First was
John the First.
500 years in?
Yeah.
Wow.
So using the word Hormisdas in a sentence, if I may. So we called the escort service to have a lady friend lined up for me and my friend. But our signals got crossed in the Hormisdas.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go. Used in a sentence.
They offer that on whatever website.
No, I just made that up.
Popestuff.com.
I just made that up, so
Yep.
you can tell, can't you?
That was good. That's good. All right, so Nick, big vanity pick for you.
It is.
Right up your alley.
Yep.
See, I like this. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, this is an I can have it moment for me. Mm-hmm. But I think, well, we'll get into it. It's just...
Now, is this an obscure song, or have we all heard it?
The song, I would say, it's actually the titular song off the album, but I doubt that the majority of people are familiar with it. Probably most people listening, and I would imagine you two guys may not know this song.
That's interesting.
And it's a band I've brought up, and that's all I'll say.
All right, are you ready to intro it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Harold. This one's called
Go.
Off of
Go.
by the band
Letters to Cleo.
Ow!
1997. Their third studio album.
3 albums by 97?
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is the first one without Stacy Jones behind the kit.
Stacy Jones,
Who's
huh?
Miley Cyrus's drummer.
Really?
Yeah. And
Look at that.
He was in Veruca Salt, wasn't he?
Maybe. I know he did American Hi-Fi.
I want to say he joined from Veruca Salt for that 8 Arms to Hold You Bob Rock production.
Well, he's got quite a nice resume.
So was Letters to Cleo his band?
But
was he?
Well, he's not on this one.
But I mean, was it like the band he came up in, then he started doing other projects, or was he a hired gun already when he was? I don't know anything about Letters to Cleo, so I don't know.
I don't know that he was in anything bigger before that. I don't think so. Yeah, okay. I'm not a. Actually, Tom would know more about him than I would, but maybe he'll text me. Yeah, he was in Veruca Salt. I'm seeing that.
Okay. That was after this, or after his stint in.
Yeah,
Letters
it looks
Cleo,
like
so
after he went to Veruca Salt.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yep, 97. This is a short one.
Real quick, Chris Camarado said he also played drums in Chris's favorite band, Everclear.
Did he really?
I guess. I don't know if
wow.
the whole time or
that's not
jumped in later.
That's not listed here. Maybe he went on Wikipedia and took it off. He's like, yeah, it's true, but...
Yeah, it's one of those things. He's got a full-time employee who just removes that whenever it comes back up. Make sure that's gone.
Yeah, that can't be out there.
Yeah. Could you get a couple more cases of water and then make sure that no one says anything about Everclear? Thanks.
So have you guys ever heard this song?
I don't think so.
Can't say that I have. I'm not sure I've heard a note of anything by this band. But I know they're highly regarded and hear their name everywhere.
Well, I mean, I remember when Here and Now came out. That was like their first big single.
Was that from this?
No, that was first album, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one that was probably their might have been their biggest hit, but then they had they were really featured in some of those teen movies in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So
that's where I would have heard them, I think.
Yeah.
So, okay, was it called Aurora Borealis?
Yeah, that was
the
one that had it on there, yeah.
And that was a radio song?
Yeah, that was MTV had it pretty heavy rotation.
Okay.
It had that the chorus was pretty gimmicky, where it was kind of a Micro Machines man, lots of words. Not that fast, but it kind of had that gimmick to it, where the chorus was a big run-on sentence kind of a thing.
I don't remember that. I don't think I know much about this band at all.
Well, this is my favorite song by them, actually.
Wow.
So
okay.
I'm pretty stoked when I saw that.
So who submitted it and went with the comments?
Submitted by Nick Jones. No, this was submitted by
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Gary Branville. Hey, Gary.
Oh yeah.
In the
Thanks, Gary.
comment says, I heard this song in the background when I was being held captive by a middle-aged man of Polish descent wearing a cape and fedora, tuck dancing in front of a mirror.
Oh man,
Is that what was going on? Well,
I don't even know. I gotta look this up on YouTube and see if there's any traditional steps in that type of dancing. I don't know what that is.
There's only one step.
Yeah.
It's the tuck, and then there's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
Just don't don't do any full rotations. We don't want to see the backside of the tuck.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Oh man. So
this is 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
All
no
right.
messing around on this one.
And you said this is your favorite song by them?
I think so, yeah. I have there are a lot of them that I really like, but it's just a lot of great melodies, a lot of great just like songs. Great musicianship, but not, you don't really get guitar solos and things like that. It's more just songs.
Okay. What I know about this band off the top of my head, I know the name. I know that. Didn't they do the Josie and the Pussycats movie soundtrack?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's just the singer.
Or the singer,
yeah.
Not the whole band. Okay.
No, not the whole band.
Okay, so I was wrong with that.
That thing is an underrated soundtrack for sure.
Yeah, we've talked about
Yeah.
that. Wasn't the Fountains of Wayne guy involved?
Yeah,
in
and
that?
Babyface had something to do with it. And,
Jeez. Real murderer's row.
yeah. And I got to see her perform with, Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
act,
brought her
or-
out. No,
Oh.
they brought her out to do. There was a song that I can't remember what it was, but there was a song that they had a female voice on, and she came out and sang it with them. Because it was a big Boston thing.
And Letters to Cleo is a Boston band?
Yeah.
Okay, that was another one of my questions.
Boston band.
I always like to figure out where somebody's from.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah. What do they do? Dance around or shadow boxing during the whole set? Grunting into the microphone.
You would
in their
have
fucking polo shirts. Get out of here!
you'd have
with
loved
those
when they played
fucking idiots.
You'd have loved it when they covered TNT later in the song.
Oh, I made the mistake of watching their set from Fenway. When I was
really?
on that old.
Oh, you've
Palladium
watched
show.
it. So you saw the concert Nick went to.
I did see it. Yes.
If it was 2011, then yes. If it was, I think they play it every year, so who knows?
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that's one of their
but,
things.
yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, same thing.
I don't get it. It doesn't resonate with me in the slightest.
Also, I see 10 things I hate about you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at the comments on our live chat here. Patreon.com/Pot of Thunder.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. And then the other thing I know about this band is that the guy from, what's that show called? Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Leslie's boyfriend likes Letters to mentions them all
I
the time
forget-
and wears
right.
T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's the only other thing I know. And then that Nick likes them.
That's right. I forgot about the Parks and Rec
I forget.
connection.
Yeah, I forget his. And it's been years since I watched that show, but
Weren't they on that like festival episode with
yeah.
Wilco?
And
Oh.
he was standing on the side of the stage with the shirt on.
Right.
I think I missed the one where they actually got them on.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember this now.
Okay. All right. So, what do we do now? Are you ready? Any other thoughts before we get started?
Just curious to hear what you guys think of it. I'm stoked.
All right. I'm nervous you're just going to throw that football at the back of my head.
I want to look up the lyrics though. 'cause
Okay. Well, I can.
just to make sure we got them.
I have them here if you trust me, or you can look them up for yourself.
If you got them, then great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Go.
It's like a little bit of literal steam sound happening, and then they just kick right into it.
Yeah.
Really great sound on this album, by the way, production-wise.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's like, and this is one of those songs where just the tempo seems almost faster than they might have been planning it. You know, like you get that feeling that it's like almost like a live tempo.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think, well, we haven't gotten that far yet, but I love how it just kicks in with the crash and the kick drum like that.
Okay.
Who produced this? Anyone of note?
That is a good question.
Nick will figure that out.
I will figure it out.
All right.
Say it, a good clip is a real good way to go real fast. Say it, I'm on track and I'm built for speed. Pull up the back.
Okay, can you give us some lyrics?
Say it. A good clip is a real good way to go real fast.
Which I've never understood what the good clip refers to.
Well, the word clip refers to the speed or pace at which you do something. So maybe there's a play on that word there.
I guess is that a boating term?
I don't know.
Are we into
Is it boat culture?
Yeah, Dropkick Murphys and boat culture in the same episode? Is that what we're doing?
That's true. I never really thought of that meaning of the word like that. I'm sorry, what was the rest?
And then say it, I'm on track, and I'm built for speed. Pull up the back. Okay.
Whatever that...
Isn't that another... I feel like pull up the back is some kind of
drag racing.
I was going to say some kind of auto racing term.
I think it's just so far just a song about
going fast,
all things high octane,
motion, all sort of striking me as more like stream of consciousness, but everything sort of fitting into the theme.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's no like cohesive story yet, which is fine. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
This album's produced by Peter Collins, who produced Bon Jovi, Billy Squier, Rush, Air Supply, Alice Cooper,
Air Supply,
Suicidal Tendencies, Queensryche, Jermaine Stewart.
This is the greatest producer of all time. He did Jermaine Stewart,
The Cardigans,
the
Brian
Cardigans.
Setzer Orchestra.
Okay, I don't know who Peter Collins is, but he's the world's greatest producer.
Jermaine Stewart.
He did Jermaine Stewart, Air Supply. What else was it?
Queensryche.
Anything good?
Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Man. Mm-hmm. Gary Moore. I think I mentioned him.
Gary Moore. What album?
Let's see if it lists his.
It takes too long. To
find. I don't know. It really just kind of lists the artists that he's worked with.
He's worked with a wide swatch of artists.
The Indigo Girls.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that is quite a spread of different styles.
I think he worked on their Carpet Munching EP.
It's odd that was only an EP. You think that might be their double album?
Well, yeah,
their white album.
But I don't know the Indigo Girls at all. All I know is Lilith Fair.
People like them that go to college.
In the 90s, right?
In the 90s. That's what I know about
actually, the
Girls.
first time I heard of them, their album came across the desk at the entertainment area of the newspaper in the late 80s.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So they were at it already.
They were.
I've never heard any of their music. Might be my new favorite band. But
there's probably one song, a big hit, I can't think of it, but you probably, if you heard it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that occasionally, but whatever.
Well,
it's not for you, let's put it that way. You're not in the demographic of Indigo Girls.
Probably not.
For a time, Collins was referred to as Mr. Big. He produced Operation Mindcrime, Empire, and Hey Stupid.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
And Roll the Bones.
Interesting.
So he moved into, transitioned into the 90s rather well.
Yeah. So I always enjoyed the production on this album. So
yeah, it sounds good so far.
We had a guy who'd been doing it for years.
Yeah.
On your mark, ready, set, go! Teaser with pretty line, with your shiny glass and perfect time. Ease up against my spine, 'cause there's still a million miles to climb.
I didn't expect that organ section.
Yeah.
Yeah, that retro, like Farfisa or Vox organ thrown in there.
Well, it was 97. You figure a lot of different stuff going on that in popular music culture.
Can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of organ with all the ska stuff happening.
Yeah.
So
organs were hot.
Yeah, they were.
Plus, that was kind of in the era of, to a certain extent, earlier in the 90s as well. But there are a lot of... Cobain was one who kind of brought back the Fender Jaguar, like the budget instruments of the 60s and 70s that were kind of, rejected entirely by the whole 80s hard rock scene. But like, again, those retro organs, the Farfisa, the Vox and stuff, just that sort of lo-fi budget sound and sort of construction of the instrument was appealing to alt rockers of the day.
When did Smash Mouth hit? because
Wouldn't that be right
if you want to talk about like really using that sort of organ sound to great effect and success.
Well, yeah, that first single, "Walking on the Sun," that was a legit song. When that came out, it was like totally retro but fresh sounding.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then they just went straight down the shit pipe.
When did they go straight down? What was the song that
All Star has to be All Star?
Yeah. But why though?
Just because it just I don't know.
Too much.
The first album was called Songs from the Sparkle Lounge. Wasn't that the name of it?
That's a Def Leppard album.
Okay, that's wrong.
It was called.
But it's
Is this the right name?
Probably something similar. I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna clarify here because this is a really stupid name for an album. If this is the name for an album, yeah, it sure is. You're thinking of Astro Lounge.
Okay,
that's the one with. That's not the one though. That's the one with All Star. This first one is called "Fush You Mang."
Oh right, yeah, that's right.
Fush You Mang.
Of the that's from Scarface. So,
yeah,
that's on the end of your guitar somewhere, isn't it? Doesn't it say that on one of the headstocks of your guitars?
It does.
Yeah.
I do. It had a couple custom decal made for the scene where Tony executes the crooked cop, Mel Bernstein. He says, "So long, Mel. Have a nice trip." And he goes, "Fuck you!" And that's my logo on that guitar. So he went out. He went out guns blazing.
Yes,
Took
did.
one in the chest right after that. But anyway, so yeah, they called the album Astor Lounge and had All Star on it, which sunk them in the minds of a lot of people. But just that Walking on the Sun vibe had that like kind of 60s lounge kind of, vibe to it, and it was pretty cool. But it's really the opening bars of All Star, that somebody, and then the whole thing just falls off.
I gotta
shelf
say though,
immediately.
and I'm not a huge fan of All Star, but one of the most recognizable couple of seconds
totally
at the beginning of a song in the last who knows how many decades.
and a monster song.
Well, there's no question, and it was in Shrek or some shit like that.
It was. I think they did other stuff in Shrek.
Well,
Like
they did
I'm a
Believer.
I think All Star was in everything. Like you'd go to the grocery store and it'd get a Snickers bar, and it would be like it would say "I'm an All Star" on it.
To get your game on.
Yeah.
See,
Try to get
there were
a loaf of bread. It's got All Star. The guy that looked like Guy Fieri on the package.
God. There were some. Yeah, I will say the whole "get your game on" thing. By that point, that phrase had already been very tired, very played out.
Yeah.
But they were massive and
Huge.
Now who's gonna play at the Pierogi Fest?
Well, they're just gonna have to swap in a new. Well, I don't think he was in it.
Yeah,
anyway.
he wasn't.
Yeah,
he
really?
came back with a different singer.
Yeah, because
I
he
didn't
was
know
so
that.
Unwell that
wow.
they were touring without him. And
I did not know that.
And he passed what, like the
Within
fall.
the past year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, I thought he was still in it. I guess. Yeah.
No.
But the opening of All Star is right up there with the opening of Photograph by Nickelback. It's the nano. Not that I would ever hear it ever again because I don't listen to the radio anymore, and I certainly would never stumble upon it on Spotify for any reason. But back in the day when I would accidentally be listening to a radio station on which one of those two songs came on, the nanosecond my brain registered what that was, I was just reaching for the knob to turn the channel. It's like, I'm not listening to this ever. Look at that photo. It's like, it's off.
But it's
off.
All Star though is such a huge song that my kids know the beginning of it.
Everybody knows
And
it.
not that I never put it on.
Yeah.
They just have heard it because it's
Yeah,
there.
it seeps
because it's
in.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Almost as big as Smooth.
Yeah. That's up there. Those are two monster
I would
songs
think
of the same couple of
I would
years.
think it's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, "Smooth," the biggest song ever we've established.
We've established number
And
one
we will
single
keep
in history.
establishing
Nobody, the world didn't need us to establish that. It had been established by the universe already.
But people want us to believe that the Princess Diana tribute by Elton John
fuck off.
That was nothing.
Who are these people who want us to believe that?
Yeah.
We're not going for
Hell with those
Honestly,
people.
what's more important? A rehashed, lazy tribute
maybe.
to a fallen...
Didn't even write a new song.
But here's the other thing: the benefit of actually being alive when both of those songs were the thing. Smooth destroyed it in terms of being omnipresent and being everywhere. And you could not get away from it.
Yeah. And also, if you're going to give me the two subjects, which one do I want to listen to?
Right.
And it's just weird. Yeah, it's weird that this is a song.
I didn't realize there was
about some other one.
I didn't realize there was a faction of people trying to get people to believe that "Candle in the Wind" remake was the biggest song ever. That's
what I'd read
ridiculous.
because it had always been White Christmas, and then I remember it being a big deal, like, this Elton John tribute song, this Princess Di tribute song,
bunch of horse shit.
has overtaken it, and then Smooth came around and just is. At this point,
dusted.
Probably Gangnam Style is up there.
Yeah.
Along with it.
I'm okay with that.
All Stars on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, why are we completely off topic?
We've lost letters to Cleo.
When we started talking about that retro organ sound.
It's a short song. We need to
stretch.
We need to talk.
All right, let's keep going.
On your mark, go! Would I do what it takes if it would shut you off? Now don't be so sure, but don't make me have to find out, 'cause I feel lucky you look nice, and I'm not gonna say it twice, 'cause you're in my car now.
I always just love the way the band's playing in this particular song.
Band is cooking.
It's just like no holds barred. Mm-hmm. Great stuff happening on bass.
Mm-hmm.
There was some nice bass playing there.
Yeah, just.
What's the makeup of this band? Racially, no, I'm kidding. Instrumentally, how many?
They're all Ashkenazi.
So, do you know how many people? Like, is it 5, 6? I don't even know. 6.
It's typically a four piece,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but she's the only female in the band.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was gonna be my other question. If that was a harmony between two female singers, or it's her own. Okay. And then my other question: does she play the organ, or does she play something else? I don't even know.
I've only seen her as a vocalist. And,
Okay,
and like
so
She hasn't wheeled a guitar.
Well, she has actually. Yeah, she has, but I don't know if she does it during this band setup. I've seen some like solo stuff that she's done, but as far as within the confines of this band, I mean, probably everybody does.
She's not like
Vince Neil brings out a guitar sometimes.
Sure, but she's not the guitar player.
No.
No.
Okay. So then that organ is probably like a studio person and off-stage person or whatever.
Most
at a
likely,
show.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if organ was in all of their songs. It was like, yeah, also my brother on the organ or whatever.
No, it's this. I mean, it's in maybe a handful, but it's a bit of a novelty in their catalog, I would say, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
Just more of a 4-piece kind of rock band.
Okay. I'm looking at some of these lyrics here. I'm going to read you what we got here. It says, teaser with pretty lines, with your shiny glass and perfect timing. Ease up against my spine, because there's still 1,000,000 miles to climb. On your mark, go. That almost sounds borderline horny.
Borderline.
What do you think?
It might be intentionally double entendric.
I think she's saying, slow down, fella. You got a long way to go.
That sounds about right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
I think there's car references in there too, keeping with the theme.
Well, and there's the double entendre, I would say.
I
mean, it's a from probably the first rock and roll song ever, right? Rocket 88. It's a
car
and sex.
Car and sex mixed together.
Yeah.
And then what did it say next? Sorry. Would I do what it takes if it would shut you off? Okay.
Yeah, this does sound like it's getting less and less about just straight up I'm driving a car fast and enjoying it.
Yeah. I feel lucky you look nice. I'm not going to say it twice because you're in my car now. So.
In my car now.
Whatever that
She's
means.
in control of the situation.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to say it again. Okay.
Yeah, that's... yeah, it all kind of happens quickly in this song, so... Never really thought about what exactly was being said.
Yeah. And again, I'm coming into this kind of cold because I don't know what their lyrics are like or their themes of their songs.
I mean, they're of the time.
Yeah.
90s had you had a lot of cryptic sort of stuff, and
a lot of.
I'd say they utilized that to an extent. Yeah.
90s had a lot of strange lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate a lot of them, particularly when they're not about drug addiction.
Right.
Because so many of them were.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it's just, after a while, you kind of want something else.
Yeah. There's too many.
Yeah, like if there's a song from the 60s that's not Motown, and it's not about drug addiction, that's maybe a novelty in certain years.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Say it, a good clip is a real good way to go real fast. Could I do what it takes if it would shut you off? Now don't be so sure, but don't make me have to find out, 'cause I'm real lucky you look nice, and I'm not gonna say this twice, 'cause you're in my car, you're in my car
There you
That's
have
it.
it.
All right.
Right down to it.
Letters to Cleo. My first listen that I'm aware of.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your guys' review, but I'll vote first since I was the one who brought it
By way of Gary.
by way of Gary. Gary brought it. I have to give it a very sweet surrender, of course.
It's sweet surrender.
Hell yes.
This might be my favorite album of theirs, and this is just the way that the song just is a word that I remember Chris using years ago to describe "Rip It Out," a scorcher, an absolute scorcher, just a buzzsaw of a song.
Yeah.
And first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh wow!" Like, I gotta go back.
Is this the opening cut? or
No,
just
this
the
is
title?
about in the middle of the album, I think.
7
Yeah.
out of, I don't know how many. I can tell you in a second, but 7 out of 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, just everybody's on fire in my opinion in this one.
All right. Chris?
Sweet Surrender for me. Yeah.
It's sweet surrender.
Hell yes.
I mean, definitely rocking. That chick vocal style. It makes sense that the guy would go from this band and Veruca Salt because they sound very similar to me. Another band of that kind of type from that era, it would be Belly.
I remember that name.
Donnelly.
Okay.
They were pretty good.
What was their big?
I don't know what their big hit was necessarily, but they had a great contribution to the Hendrix tribute album of the 90s. They did Are You Experienced? Pretty awesome version. That's actually a great tribute album because like there's not too many straightforward versions. Like The Cure did Purple Haze.
I remember
Awesome.
that.
I think you mentioned that.
But yeah, it was kind of. I wouldn't say trendy, but it was just like you had more women fronting rock bands in the 90s, and it was people were more open to it. Yeah, I always enjoyed Veruca Salt, and this is in that wheelhouse. And like I said, band was rocking, sounds great playing. What's not to like?
Feed the Tree was the song I was trying to think of. Yeah. Got MTV airplay.
That was by Belly?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember that one. I just remember the name.
It was like them, the Breeders.
The Breeders.
Breeders was,
L7 made a little bit of a mark.
Yeah, but L7 and the Breeders weren't like, it's like, I don't know if it's the right, I'm going to take some heat for using this descriptor, but like Veruca Salt, what I just heard, Belly and stuff, it's like, it's more like waifish women's vocals, high-pitched and decidedly feminine. The Breeders stuff, and certainly L7 was way more authoritative, masculine, different takes on it, you know. L7 was cool, I thought. Their Bricks Are Heavy album is a staple of my collection. Great stuff on there. So yeah, there's a lot of it going on in the decade, and this was, I enjoyed it, rocking. So what's not to like?
There you go. I'm gonna give it a Sweet Surrender as well.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be such a hard song. Not that it's like, you know, Cannibal Corpse or something, but you know what I mean? Like, I thought that their music was more like mid-tempo-y.
Most of it is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my guess.
Yeah, this one is a bit of a, for the speed of it and the aggression of it. It's a bit more of a unique song for them, I would say.
I also liked how not traditional the arrangement kind of is.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't super predictable.
No, I
like the organ section. It's fun.
And there's I'm guessing they tried to kind of recapture this song a little bit, or kind of just, you know, get back and do another song similar to it. A few years back, they came out with an EP, and they came out with a song called Hitch a Ride. So for anyone who enjoyed this one, there's a song out there called Hitch a Ride that's got a similar vibe to it.
Okay.
Interesting tidbit here that I don't know if you noticed this, Nick, since we picked a keyboard song, but listed him in the credits as one of the keyboardists. One of the other guitarists in the band has got keyboards listed for him. Is none other than Greg Hawkes of the Cars.
Oh, my.
So that would make sense, because that guy, you know, was all about back in the 70s and 80s, all was about the synths of the time, but coming out with the retro keyboard stuff. And right around that time, it was when Ocasek was producing Weezer. So, you know, these Cars guys were sort of coming around full circle and being embraced by the younger set, well they should have.
I would have to imagine that these 90s bands were big Cars fans, so it's probably like, we want somebody associated with that. Yeah,
I mean, and Ocasek, like I said, I know the first two Weezer albums he produced, and Greg Hawkes on here, a giant of rock music. Collaborating with these guys, so there's clearly some well-deserved respect there, so that's pretty cool.
All right, guys, who would have thought? Oh, Nick's drumming over there.
On my pigskin.
All right, Hammond, I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley wants to know if Go is a rock and roll boner classic, as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners in this room. What's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be?
me check my crypto portfolio real quick.
What about your cannabis holdings?
I'm out of that. Oh no. Okay, that was my update for the week. Oh dear.
Don't look at it.
Don't
Play
look,
the
it's no
long
good.
game.
It's worthless. Stock market's horrible. Don't waste
Well,
your money.
actually, it's not right now, but
Is it better recently?
it hit the highest level ever in
Oh, really?
history
Okay.
in the past week.
Okay. Let's
Over
see.
38,000 points on the Dow.
I'll say maybe it was it last year?
No, it was last week.
No, when it was like especially bad because I felt like every like the IRAs and 401ks, that stuff all took a dump.
I don't. That's not true.
Several thousand, I would say upwards of $10,000 gone.
Yeah, but unless you're cashing out right then, you stay in and you reap the benefits on the other side.
What kind of time do you think I have? Take a look at me.
Andy's in his 40s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He's an idiot.
Oh man.
He's an idiot. Plus, if your all your money goes up in smoke in the market, just start a GoFundMe. Let everybody else pay for your fucking
That's a good
life.
idea. I need to do
Everybody
that.
else is doing it.
What do I want? Start
You
an
can have
Amazon
it.
wish list.
You can have it.
Just register at Kohl's.
Bloomingdale's.
tell
I hear
people about it.
Get $15,000 in Bloomingdale's gift cards.
Yeah. It's not a bad exchange.
That's a lot of pairs of Hanes Herway low-rise panties.
A lot.
What does that detail?
I don't know. It just seems like those would be for sale at Bloomingdale's. Is Bloomingdale's a highfalutin?
Yeah.
Is it retailer?
Yeah. That's like a Neiman Marcus kind
All
of.
right. You still got to buy underwear there, right?
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton.
Or whatever you want.
I'm thinking
I don't know.
Hanes Herway is for sale
huh?
there. Nobody can talk me out of it. I'm convinced.
Louis Vuitton underpants, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Nick's vote has got to be in, right?
Mine is in him. Yeah.
Probably was in before we even started the analysis.
for
Andy?
Sure. My vote's in.
Fuck. Shit. See, I want mine to be contingent on other votes, but that's not how this would work, so... Trying to guess what Andy's vote would be.
Some games going on
It's a
here.
fool's errand.
This album peaked at number 45 on Billboard's Top Heat Seekers chart, which I've never heard of.
You never heard of that?
The Heat
chart?
the Top Heat Seekers chart? I
Been
don't know.
around.
There are a lot of charts.
There are a lot of charts. Yeah, my vote's in.
Okay. Well, how do you want to do it?
Well, I'll go first, and you guys sort it out.
Yeah, Andy, you want to go second?
Sure.
Okay. Rock.
No boner.
Well,
There you go.
well.
No, sorry, Hammond. Not happening.
Well, I love it, and that's all that matters.
No, it's good. I
It's
mean, I don't
very
think
good.
Andy disliked it.
No, I liked it a lot. I just wasn't ready to
I think
give it a
that's the
boner.
thing when you hear a song literally for the first time, it
Yeah.
it really has to bowl you completely over.
That's
like,
it.
oh my God, this is one of the greatest things I've ever heard. Where's it been all my life in order to be elevated to boner status?
That's exactly what happened. I enjoyed it. I will re-listen. I will check out the album. Maybe if we revisited it in the future or someone asked us about it again, might change my vote.
But
But
she sang the entire Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack, or
Yeah,
at least
they're-
the songs from their band.
Yeah, the female vocal ones.
I was
yeah.
not aware of that.
what's her name?
Kay Hanley.
Okay.
And,
Are those songs available on Spotify? I need to put those on my liked list. Some good stuff.
I have
on
not
there.
looked on Spotify, but
I'm gonna go look right now.
yeah, that's a
Look.
That's. I know we've mentioned it before, but really one of the better soundtracks.
Well, and the movie is good too.
The
movie is well done.
It is a surprisingly entertaining movie. I'm checking. Yeah, it looks like.
It's on there.
Yeah, and on Amazon Music as well.
Oh, good. What's Amazon Music all about?
Just if you're a Prime member.
It's on there. So I'm wasting my money. I don't need to be paying
There's a zillion things on Amazon Music.
I don't need to be paying for Apple Music.
I doubt it.
Son of a bitch. I've had it with all these subscriptions.
It's out of control.
They've got me.
And all the people who cut the cords, they could save money. They're spending more money now, way more money
and
than
you
they used to.
Forget about stuff that you're subscribed to.
Oh yeah,
and you don't even know how to log in if you wanted to unsubscribe.
Exactly.
I've seen ads for services where
they cancel you.
Well, yeah, like they'll show you all the things that you're subscribing to that you forgot about potentially, and then you could cancel through it.
You get to subscribe to that service as well.
That's the trick. That's the funny part. I looked at it, and it was like $8 a month. I'm like, I'm not doing this. $8 a month.
Well, why do you need a monthly service? Tell me in one day what I'm subscribed to, and I'll cancel it that day, and I'm done.
And then we're done. Yeah. Bye. Well, they've got insights for you on how you're spending your money.
Insights.
Have you ever done the whole like you've subscribed to something like usually a cable service, satellite service, whatever, and you cancel it, and then they're like, no, we'll give you free this and free this and free this for like a few months if you just hang on with us.
This happened to me maybe once over a decade ago, and then never again. I feel like any other time they were just like, okay, bye.
Because it had. I called one time, and I didn't even say. I think it was DirecTV, maybe. I didn't even say I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah.
I just said like, hey, this one channel that I like,
it's gone.
Is just not here anymore.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we're so sorry. We're figuring it like some kind of, you know how they do that where like WGN will do that like every year,
or
there's a negotiation thing and they'll just let it go off of the TV schedule. And, oh, fine, they'll come crawling back.
Yeah.
So a similar kind of thing happened, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want that channel. All right, well, we'll give you free Showtime and HBO, whatever. But you got to call back in like 2 months. We'll give you 2 months free. Make sure you call back and cancel it because we're going to start charging you for it.
Wow, they actually said that.
Yeah. And I'm glad they
probably fired that person immediately.
Yeah, they were monitoring that call, and that guy got summoned into the supervisor's office.
Yeah, I mean, I who knows? Like, why is it so expensive all of a sudden?
Yep, that's why.
Yeah.
They get you. Oh, man. I got everything now. I don't even know what I don't.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you. It's just like, you know, I'm like almost Andy's attitude with the investments. It's like, you know what? Tomorrow could be the day when I get hit by a bus. I don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. You're way more motivated to take my money than I'm motivated to save my money. So just take your fucking $8 a month and leave me alone.
Yep, that's it.
Let me watch my Three's Company streaming reruns or whatever benefit I'm getting from you. But back to Nick's point, it's just like, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, it's all just like, obviously, I'm an Amazon Prime member, but I listen to my music on Spotify. It's like, I'm not that fucking broke where I gotta fucking worry about it. I'm locked into Spotify. It works for me.
Yeah.
Not switching over to fucking Amazon Music.
Yeah, I don't think I would switch right now. Even if it has all the same stuff, I've got it all set up.
Yeah.
I don't want to switch it. I got all my stuff saved. My library of what I want to have on shuffle.
It's like all these cheap or broke motherfuckers are constantly fucking changing wireless providers. No offense, and
I was gonna say exactly me, but
it's just like, dude, I really want to get a new phone set up and deal with the new billing and stuff. It's like, I'd rather pay more to just fucking leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let me do my routine. Fuck off. Just give me the service I'm paying for and leave me alone.
Yeah. That was funny with mine, though. I had T-Mobile, and then I came across Mint Mobile, and I'm like, I'm doing it. So I switched over to Mint Mobile, and then like 2 months later, T-Mobile has acquired Mint Mobile. It's the same company. So, whatever.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they still have their own billing.
Sure,
but they're...
Well, whenever a company or mortgage company or cell phone company says we're not going to... No one will buy us out. They're getting bought out.
Yeah.
There's yeah, that's not a promise that will ever be kept.
Well, it's like saying no one will shit on my head until the right
a couple months
the right
later.
buyer shows up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
If somebody shits on my head, I'm fucking killing those people on the spot. No, in fact, you stayed for another hour and a half and continued on with the mayhem. So you never know what you're going to do until you're in that situation.
Yeah,
hopefully nobody in this room or within earshot of us is ever in that situation.
There's that famous, I see that quote all the time. It's always attributed to Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until Vince McMahon takes a shit on your head.
Yeah, that's the new spin on it. Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
What if by the time we record the next episode, he's completely exonerated?
And
we have retractions in order.
That's possible because who knows? We don't know anything. We don't know what happened. But I saw a statement that said that it's all ridiculous,
right? And he's going to defend himself from these egregious lies.
Yeah.
And
so hey, maybe he's got proof. I didn't do that.
See, that's the thing is you can't prove that you
can't
didn't
prove
do
it.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, either he did it, or the legal team for this accuser
is an absolute
concocted all this stuff in their mind. Who's more sick? I would say they're equally sick. So,
well,
somebody in that whole equation is an abject scumbag. So. See what happens.
Yeah. Well, one of them's lying. Someone get Jonathan Frakes in here. He'll sort it out.
That would be a good response if it was just it never happened.
When he comes rolling in and asks a question, an obscure sort of question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never happened. All right. Hey, we got to rubber stamp it.
Oh, my goodness.
If you disagree with us, we're sorry.
I do.
That's just the fucking way it is.
I'm sorry, Nick. Sorry. You know what we have here? We have a 10th anniversary message.
Oh, wow.
Whew. Let's see. This one is from the luxurious one, Cliff Caviar.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Is he still mad at you?
I don't know.
5 strikes 10, must be Monday night. A decade of stupidity, but that's alright. Listen to Pound of Thunder tonight. Leave us a voice message tonight.
Hello. This message is for America's little brother, our buddy Andy, the Garlic Dragon, Nick Pollock, and the one and only breakout star of the podcast medium, the illustrious Chris L. Welcome to the Caviar Casino. It is yours truly, Cliff Caviar. Let it sink in for a second. With a uninvited return to Pot of Thunder once again. Now, I'm going to get a little serious for a second. I've turned over a new leaf. I don't want to beat up Andy anymore. I actually like Andy, even though I am a little salty that our wrestling match never happened, as you are as well. We've talked about this. I think it would have been a great match, would have been a great draw. I think a lot of people would have loved to see that. I know Nick included. I don't know about Chris. But speaking of Nick and Chris, I consider Andy a good person, alongside Nick, Chris, and, of course, the other Chris. And now, in all seriousness, I would just like to say thank you guys for the years. What has it been, a decade at this point? The years of amazing podcast listening. You guys are still, to this day, my top favorite podcast, and I listen to podcasts all day while I'm at work. I did fall off for a few years because I was working midnights at the time, and as you guys know, if you've worked midnights, it's you're busy, you're doing your thing, and the whole world is asleep. So it's kind of hard to make that work, but now I have a lot of catching up to do, as I've been working a day shift job. So yeah, I won't keep you guys on any longer. I want to thank you guys and hope to see you guys again in person soon. You guys are always great company. And until next time, I will continue to listen to today's Caribbean Cove review to get me through the day. All right, guys. Be safe. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and have an even better New Year. Peace out from the luxurious one. Until next time.
There you go.
Thanks, Cliff.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, excuse me.
Cliff Caviar. It's been a while.
He's a good man. We've met
guy.
him, at least one Indie Kiss Expo, right? Not
Yeah, he was at
couple
one
of
of
them.
those. Yeah.
Came over to my home one time.
Look at that.
He what? I didn't know.
Nick, what are
this.
you doing? No.
Yeah, I welcomed him over.
Having people over to the home.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We were working on a
Jeez.
collaboration. It hasn't happened yet, but would like to make it happen.
It's
All right.
collabing.
Interesting.
All right. Well, it was nice to hear from Cliff. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the Yard O Questions.
Yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them! Swing away.
Yes, Chief.
Yeah. We're here. I'm looking for a nice Yardo questions here. Oh, this is fun.
I can always tell when Andy's reading one, and he's hoping that they don't blow it at the end.
Well, you know what? There have been some where they blow it, where they're like, I don't even have a third question. I'm like, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
can't do that.
We can't have.
That's the most
can't
basic,
have it.
the only criteria there is.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's got to be some rules around here.
Yeah, then the other one that happens more often is one of the questions is one we've answered many, many, many times, and I don't expect everyone to know every episode.
Well, of course,
yeah. But you know, I try to avoid those when I can. This one looks fun, though. I looked at question 1, and that's good enough for me. I'm not even going to bother reading 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
They're here. I'm not going to read them.
They're here. They're queer. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Question 1.
Kill some time.
Question 1. Why did I say that? This one comes to us from Lance Sterling. Lance says, "Hey, Boniers." Question
Lance.
You guys remember Lance, right? My old colleague at the Hard Rock,
Yes.
who
yes.
introduced me to the term, "It's all good."
Yeah, that's right.
He's the man, a legendary presence in my life. So,
All right, I like his first question a lot. He says, if you had to choose one of the following chefs to open a restaurant with, who's your partner? A, B, or C? Gordon Ramsay, Emeril Lagasse, Guy Fieri.
Ooh.
Fieri's out for me, that's for sure.
Not a fan?
He's
too cheesy for me. Too fucking cartoonish.
Ramsey's out for me.
Really?
Like Gordon.
Yeah, his shtick. I can't do it. They say he's a nice guy in real life. But
Andy's
Andy's
collaborated with Ramsey in the past.
We've ran into each other. I worked on one episode of his show 17 no, I don't know how many years ago. Quite a few years ago.
Yeah, he's been around forever already.
Yeah.
Fieri's just too fucking cartoonish and cheesy for me. I couldn't deal with that day in and day out and be linked up with that guy in a business venture. It's bad enough being in that way with you two.
You don't like that he always talks about how these sauces are gangster?
Yeah, the whole fucking Flavor Town and the frosted tips of his hair and the whole, it's just too much. It's too much.
I like Guy Fieri despite the fact that I'm still shocked when I see someone wearing their sunglasses on the back of their head.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked by that.
I've literally never done that in my life. I would never think to do that.
But just the first time I remember seeing it, I was like,
What?
And when I see it now, when I see
Why
it
is
this
happening?
summer of 24, I'm going to say, what?
Occasionally I put on Triple D, as it's called, his show.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that show.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got
sit
no problem
through-
with his show.
I watch the show because I think it's interesting to watch these guys, the actual chefs in action. But him, it's just too. I couldn't deal with that day in and day out. I'm much more of a Ramsay fan. I watch Hell's Kitchen. I watch Master Chef. But I mean, come on. Emerald gave us the band that does our intro.
Yeah, Doc Gibbs.
I think we're all going to have to agree. Emerald's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Does he have a show right now? I never see him
I don't
anymore.
think so. He's got to be up there. He's got to be in his 70s, right?
Probably.
I mean, infomercials, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but as far as a show, who knows?
Plus, he's a New Orleans guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever been down there?
Never.
You?
No.
Oh, probably my favorite city in the United States. The food is unbelievable down there. Best food town in the city. Don't talk to me about Chicago. New Orleans torches Chicago from a food standpoint. I just could never go down there like for half the year when it's balls out 100 degrees down there. I
too much.
I can't function in that.
I could not imagine.
Level of heat. It's crazy down there.
All right. Question.
Yeah. Emerald. All the way.
Yeah.
All right. Emerald's the winner.
Damn.
Question 2. Oh, yeah, we used to play that too all the time with the
Bam.
the Garlic Dragon.
All the time.
A lot of Emerald stuff on this show.
We've got allegiances to Emerald.
We love Emerald.
Question 2. Were the Sex Pistols a real band, or were they just another manufactured boy band?
Well, I think...
Could they be both?
Well, I think as far as from what I've heard, how they were formed was, in fact, put together by a record label.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Malcolm McLaren, wasn't he the Svengali behind them?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it ended up working for a brief time. So I would say I agree with what Chris was getting at there, that they can be both.
Well, I think when they brought in Sid Vicious, who literally could not play the bass to be in the band, that's when it became like, okay, this isn't a real band, but the guys who recorded that album were a real band, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's ever listened to that album and been like, okay, this sucks, or these guys don't know how to play, or these songs aren't any good. Nobody's ever said that. Well, maybe some cockheads from the 80s who, unless it's, Yngwie shredding classical lines at 1,000,000 miles an hour, everything else sucks in comparison, but any normal person would listen to that and be like, okay, this is legendary stuff for a reason. But when you bring in Sid Vicious strictly for his visual appeal and his whole aura, and he literally could not play the bass by all accounts, that's when you're running into trouble
and
with legitimacy.
At that point, I would say, might as well be a Dr. Phil episode. It's just pure, like, somebody self-destroying themselves. And that's going to get attention.
Right. It's and that's you're also getting into the realm of they literally exploited that guy straight into the grave. And it's like, is there blood on somebody's hands? I think so. I mean, it killed that guy. I mean, he did it to himself, but nobody stepped in and put a stop to it.
Yeah.
So that's when you run into put your legitimacy in peril. But before that, the original band who recorded that album, absolutely 100% legit.
There you go. Question 3. If you could hologram any band in history, like Kiss is planning to do.
Well, that's I love me some Lance Sterling, but that's not exactly the same thing, just so we understand. Avatars and holograms, not the same thing. But so let's just say recreate digitally.
There you go.
For a live performance, meaning an in-person performance.
Yep. Who would you like to see go on forever? While you're thinking, Lance says, the only reason to get up on Monday is Pod of Thunder. Thanks for the years of entertainment. I hope they hologram you 3 boners in the distant future. Peace, Lance.
Yeah, he's onto something with that. That would be interesting.
What our avatars look like.
Can't be any worse than Kiss's avatars.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's a good question. Because I've thought about this. I know they've done... Okay, so who have they done? I know they did Dio.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere they did Billie Holiday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tupac.
Tupac was a big one. Michael Jackson, I believe they've done.
Really? I
thought there was some sort of hologram thing. I could be wrong on that. I remember the Tupac one.
Maybe they'll do the Smash Mouth guy.
Maybe. Man.
You know, I was leaning in this direction, then when you brought up Billie Holiday, it made me feel better about my choice. It does go that far back, but by all accounts, this man was an electric live performer, and his career was cut short way too soon. You can recreate that somehow. I'd probably pay to see it. I'm talking about Otis Redding.
Okay. Who I believe, I remember listening to the Fly on the Wall podcast, and they were talking about Chris Farley. Didn't he live right next to the lake where Otis Redding's plane went down?
That I've never heard that before.
I thought I'd heard that
in Wisconsin. Somewhere?
Yeah. So someone could check that and correct me. But I thought they were saying something about like Otis Redding. That accident happened right over by
I never heard that
same house or that same neighborhood.
But yeah, I mean, there's footage of him at the Monterey Pop Festival, and just in general, he was possibly more so even than Elvis in his prime, the most electric live performer in history, and just cut down after what it had 2 or 3 years in the limelight. So
that's a good one.
Nick?
Man. I don't want to go with an answer that I always would give for if you could see any band.
Scott Weiland.
I'm not going to go with Blizzard of Oz because that's kind of an obvious one.
Or somebody from an old radio show.
That'd be interesting. Well, doing old TV shows hologram like that would be interesting. Just imagine
Red
that.
Fox in the 70s.
Well, yeah, imagine you could go to a live. It'd be like a live
stand-up
taping.
thing. Yeah.
Or they could have it where it's like you're at a live.
That would be
recording
interesting.
of a
A
TV
stand-up
show.
comic like Lenny Bruce or something. I heard those live performances of him were definitely super edgy for the time, and so that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they done that yet. I think that's an untapped market for the hologram / avatar. Just doing stand-up comics from the.
I know they put a lot of emphasis on the crowd. You work off the crowd, but I think if you get Rodney one up there, just boom boom boom. There's going to be a laugh. You just let it play, and it's gonna work.
You take their prime cuts. There's no give and take there. The comic has got the whole room in the palm of his hand, so you could cobble together a greatest hit set, and you wouldn't lose anything, I don't think.
All right.
I didn't
you didn't go.
Didn't say, Nick didn't say.
I'll give one that may disgust some and titillate others, but it would be pretty awesome to see like a 1973 like intimate sort of Slade club show with just all their ridiculous outfits, and if there's a way they can make the light shine off of Naughty's big mirror top hat and everything like that, and just like how just everyone describes it. I know they say this about Kiss back in the day, but just how the sound, the power, and just the volume that they were able to achieve that most other bands could not. Just and the visual as well. That would be a pretty cool one.
All right. Thank you, Lance, for your Yardo questions. And if you would like to send a Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com, click that little widget, and send 1, 2, 3 questions our way. All right, thank you.
Next month
will be
the start of February. I've got a decision to make.
Yeah.
It's actually diverting my attention away from what the Lions have to do this weekend, or in this case, what they did or did not do yesterday. But
yeah, you need to figure this out.
You would think my every waking thought would be consumed by that. No, I've got a conundrum here.
It's a nice problem to have.
It is a nice problem to have, but it swooped in so unexpectedly, and I'm just like, holy shit! It just popped into my radar, and I'm like, oh my god, I think that has to be the one.
That's happened to me at least twice during February. Yeah. I got Walk the Dinosaur last year, came up out of nowhere, and the Adrizi Brothers, of course, the first February. Yeah,
they're telling you.
The Adrizi Brothers were the first one, huh?
That was my first choice, yeah.
Wow. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Me
it's Chris's
too.
pick. Chris, oh no, there's only 4 Mondays, right?
Yeah, there's only 4.
Because it's
It is a leap year, but the first falls on a Wednesday, so
didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with more Pot of Thunder.
French fried potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes, loaded baked potato, or the waffle fries, or the rice.